Hi, this is Joey from Blokes From Blighty, and before we get into the episode, we're going to hear from everyone's favourite person in the world, Josh Scarr, from Talking Smack.
Forget about it.
Take it away, Josh.
Do you love comics, movies, video games, and more? We do too. Join me, Josh Scarr, and my cast of colorful co-hosts on Talking Smack. Look for our yellow and red icon on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Good Pods, and other podcast players.
Lace your heart with mine, let your sleeping soul take flight, and take me through the night, down, down, down by the river. It's Tim from Blokes From Blighty. I'm joined by my regular co-host and brother, Joey Fitz. Joey Fitz, how you doing?
I'm ill, Tim.
You are very sick. You couldn't make the last recording for GCP.
I feel like hot shit. You know, people describe feminine men as a femboy.
Yeah.
I am a phlegm boy.
You're a phlegm boy.
I am part phlegm. I've already warned Tim that during this recording I may be rubbing vapor rub on my chest. That was to kind of stop him thinking I was just touching my nipples. When
you didn't have to demonstrate it and moan at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How are you, Tim?
Yeah, I'm fine. I've had the day off and basically spent it watching movies and editing.
What, any good films?
Only two. Well, I watched two movies. I watched Kong Skull Island.
I enjoyed Kong Skull Island.
It was okay.
Good fun.
Yeah, it was all right. I mean,
it's good, dumb fun.
Yeah, I mean, I really like kaiju movies. So, like, you know, it's a kaiju film, sure. John C. Reilly felt a bit weird in it. But then I watched Godzilla vs. Kong afterwards to be like, I kind of want to continue this. And when all the monsters and the kaiju were in it, so, you know, Kong, Godzilla, and spoilers, Mechagodzilla, who was fucking sick in that movie. When the kaiju were in it doing kaiju things, it was great. But when the humans were in it, the plot was convoluted and very, very stupid.
Really? I can't remember which one Godzilla... I mean, there is an obvious thing here. Which one is Godzilla versus Kong?
Sure.
It's the one where Godzilla fights King Kong.
Yeah.
But is it Godzilla King of the Monsters, where it's just him versus all of the...
Versus Rodan, Mothra, and King Ghidorah. And King Ghidorah is my favourite kaiju.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that film. I thought
that
it was really
an amazing movie.
I've not seen Godzilla vs. Kong, but I would definitely give it a watch.
It's definitely worth a go. But when will Toho Studios bring back Jet Jaguar?
I knew about 3 of those words.
If look up Jet Jaguar if you get a second. It's basically just a big man in a big suit, and he was one of the most popular 60s Godzilla villains.
It looks like a Power Rangers film.
Pretty much is. Yeah, but he's 60 feet tall.
Oh, cool.
That's Jet Jaguar.
Yeah, he should be back.
He should. But I remember watching the trailer for Godzilla vs. Kong, and there was maybe a few frames of Mechagodzilla in the trailer, and people were like, "Oh my god, it's Mechagodzilla! They might fuck it up." But then I watched the film today, and yeah, the setup for him was a little bit weird, but the actual design and the abilities he had and the fights were pretty great, actually.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm glad you enjoyed it. That sounds like a strong recommendation.
I mean, I gave it a 3 out of 5 because, I say, the human bits took up about half the film, and they were convoluted and stupid. But like I say, kaiju fight's great. Also, the girl who plays, what's her name, 11 or 12 in Stranger Things?
11.
11, she's in it, and she's a bit wooden, but whatever.
Yeah, well, Bryan Cranston was in one of the new Godzilla films, and he was quite good.
It was very brave of them to kill him off in the first 20 minutes as well, considering all the marketing they had for him.
Yeah, well, Bryan Cranston's a pretty sellable dude after Breaking Bad. So.
That was also a really good Godzilla movie with the Muto.
Yeah.
What else? There was what was the other? Because there was another Godzilla film, or was it? Or did it go straight to Godzilla vs. Kong after that? Obviously, with Kong Skull Island somewhere in between.
I have no idea.
I know it would have been Godzilla King of the Monsters, but Godzilla King of the Monsters was, as you say, incredible.
Godzilla King of the Babes.
King of the Babes. King of the Hose.
King of the Hill.
King of the Hill. It's a God damn it, Rodan. We should
Tim,
probably get to our pub quiz.
let's do our regular bit. So what's the pub quiz question?
Pub quiz question of the world. What is of the day?
Of the week, of the year, of the minute, of the hour.
There you go. What is the largest species of penguin in the world, known for its distinctive yellow eyebrows and loud braying call?
It's not the king penguin, is it? No.
But we'll come back to that at the end of the episode.
That's fun. Do you want a day of the week?
Absolutely, sign me up for a day of the week.
So this comes out on the Wednesday, the 18th of October.
Mm-hmm.
We've got a few days here. International Legging Day.
Legging, as in like the clothing?
As in leggings, yeah.
Got it, okay.
Bra Day, USA. Don't know why.
I can appreciate bra. They're very comfy.
National No Beard Day.
You there?
No beard?
Yeah, I've got a bit of a crap beard. I'm getting rid of some of it probably tomorrow morning.
Tim, you have a beard. You're literally playing with the hair on your face as we speak.
It's a bit scraggy.
It's a little bit disconcerting. National Chocolate Cupcake Day.
Can appreciate that, yeah.
Okay, and support your local Chamber of Commerce Day. There's also Get to Know Your Customer Day.
No. I feel like I'm going to go with Chocolate Cupcake Day. I feel like everyone can get behind that.
Nice. Yeah, I'm on board. So happy National Chocolate
Cupcake Day.
There's going to be a lot of moments in this episode where I just malfunction.
For the audience, I would like you to go out and make some chocolate cupcakes and send your photos in.
And if you buy them, Tim will come round to your house and shit on your doormat.
It's true. That's if you don't make them. So
yeah, if you buy them rather than make them.
Exactly. So get to it, everyone, and send them to P.O. Box.
P.O. Box T1M. That'd be quite a good P.O. Box to have. Tim, where do you want to go from here? You said you've got quite a few things to bring.
Yeah, I mean, I've met some interesting people this week to and from work. I think one thing that we could quickly cover, because it's very funny and pertinent to this podcast, I think we need to get straight into... Do we need to go straight into who's Will Smith fighting for this topic?
Yeah, okay.
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth! Out your mouth! Keep my wife's mouth out your mouth!
All right, that's good.
You guys at home can't see, but I was dancing to this and I caught a glimpse of myself in the camera. And I reminded myself of the Numa Numa guy.
Yes, the reason I wanted to bring this up, and I guess we'll get to it immediately after this kind of talking point here. Will and Jada Smith revealed that they have been separated for 7 years.
Cool.
I mean, so what was the point of the slap then? Because that was only like last year.
Compensating, I don't know.
Well, I saw someone saying that it might be Will trying to impress someone who will never love him.
The thing is, Will Smith used to be this real, treasure. Mm-hmm. Everything he touched was gold. Everything he touched sold millions. Fresh Prince is... I don't want to say it because it's going to draw some hate, but subpar rapping. Everything was like, oh, Will Smith is gold dust. And he had this classic thing of fame being with him for so long, but he kept up this charade of being a fairly normal guy, when actually I think he might just be a bit of a knob.
I think it's mostly to do with Jade. Don't get me wrong, Will is definitely up his own arse. If you ever watched interviews with him, like about films like After Earth with his son Jaden Smith, or if you ever watch other interviews for other films he's been in, or the slap with Chris Rock, you just know he's a bit of a knob. But I was also reading a thing kind of related to this today, where apparently in an actors' roundtable, Will said that he wanted to become a movie star, so no one would ever leave him.
Oh my god, that's quite sad.
It's a bit desperate. His exact thing was the exact thing was apparently he had a girlfriend when he was 15 that cheated on him, and he vowed to become a movie star, so no one would ever want to cheat on him again.
And how did that work out?
I mean, he's a movie star. He's arguably one of the most recognizable faces in film.
He got halfway there, is what you're saying.
Yeah, thereabouts. I mean, it's not cheating if it's an open relationship that everyone knows you're deeply uncomfortable with.
Yeah, I think that he's taken an L there, Tim.
I think it has taken a bit of an L, and I think that Will Smith is going to be fighting for a serious divorce lawyer.
I was going to say something really dark, but I'll save that. Let's cut that out. So I'll bleep that. There's my bleep of the week.
Okay, we're beeping. Okay.
Yeah, we'll beep it. Tim. Oh wait, we need to close out the section.
Well, who do you think he's fighting?
I think he is fighting Rishi Sunak again for being such a monumental cunt that he's being fought for 2 weeks.
Did you see the thing he put online where it was like, hey, if you live in Blythe, you're going to want to listen to this. And he puts his fat hand up to the camera and takes it away again. And he sat in the exact same spot with no difference.
He has no idea how a transition works.
Well, I saw a response to that, which was what was it? Rishi Sunak once again showing he has no idea how any kind of transitioning works.
But it's like he just puts his hand over like he's going to go, bang, and now I'm in the place I was talking about, or bang, now I'm wearing glasses, bang, now I've got my shirt off, which would be like a bit rogue for the Prime Minister. But for him to go, you may want to hear this, touch the camera, move his hand away again, is like, what have you achieved by that? All you've done is the message that you are saying has been completely lost because people are taking the piss out of you on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
So that was who's Will Smith fighting this week?
Keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth! Out your mouth! Keep my wife's mouth out your mouth!
All right, that's thank you, Will Smith, for that.
Tim, I've got some follow up from last week's episode.
All right, yeah.
First things first, I need to ask you: did you learn any more about this person who watched half of The Godfather?
Well, I still work with them.
Did they ever finish the film?
I haven't spoken to them in about a week, so I don't know.
Oh, you're not in from tomorrow, are you?
No, I'm on. Your boy's on holiday.
Can you find out?
Yeah. I'll like as soon as I'm back, I'm find out. But I'm giving you the heads up. It might be like 2 weeks until the audience gets wind. Why? Who's asked?
No one. I'm really curious. Like I was listening back to it when I was editing, like as baffled as I was at the moment that you told me. So the other thing I wanted to follow up with was friend of the podcast, Dan from Casting Views, the lovely Dan from
Hello,
Casting
Dan.
Views is what I should say, sent me a message. So Dan and I message each other quite regularly. I like to give him feedback on just football. He gives us feedback on this. We talk about Casting Views. We talk about a lot of things. At the end of a few messages that Dan had sent me about this week's episode gone out today, he said, also, but send my apologies to Tim, but you are spot on. The fact that he gets enjoyment bitching about a show means he enjoys watching the show.
No, Dan, I thought you might be on my side.
If you don't like the people on the show, he wouldn't watch it. I put it to Tim that he actually loves the exploits of those ladies being Sex in the City, which Tim watches with his girlfriend and thoroughly enjoys. I said, ha 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 ha, I'll bring it up with him. We're recording tonight. Thanks, dude. He said, but I hope that Tim and I can still be virtual friends. And I said, I don't think so. He is a fickle and bitter man. And Dan said, actually, I would gladly have him on to cast and defend his views. So there you have an invite.
That's like an
Casting
open
Views.
invite to that is what's called the I guess right to defense or the right to response.
Sounds
right
more
there.
like a WWF style promo.
Okay, well, I'm going to put on a cowboy hat and a microphone and be like,
Oh,
"Hey,
yeah.
brother."
I wouldn't make yourself like
There's
Hulk
an endless
Hogan.
road to be discovered.
I wouldn't make yourself like Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
That's Randy Savage. He's a pretty troublesome guy too, but he was in the first Spider-Man film.
Have you also seen the Skyrim mod that replaced all the dragons with Randy Savage?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, and when they shout, they go, "Yeah!"
There's one where it replaced it with Thomas the Tank Engine, which
That's
I
very
enjoy as
funny.
well.
Yeah, it's very good.
It's good, dumb fun. So that was our callback to last week. Tim, have you got any crazy shit for us?
I do.
Hold on.
Oh, right.
Oh, damn, that's crazy.
Thank you for that introduction. I've met two really weird people this week. I say two weird people. One of them was quite normal. It was just a strange scenario. So I guess I'll go to that one first. So you've been to my flat a couple of times now, I think.
Yep.
So you know the road where, like, the road that connects to the train station, kind of off the back of mine.
Yeah, what's the road called and the postcode?
I'm not going to give that out. I was walking down that road to come back from the train station from work. Was it? It might have been even yesterday, maybe Monday. So, I was walking down, and this van rounds the corner from my road onto this, and I guess the side door was open. I should mention it's an Amazon van. And I guess the side door was open, and the basket wasn't secured because this basket came out and just packages went fucking everywhere.
Wow. Okay.
So I basically walked over and gave the guy a hand. He was like, "Oh," I was like, "No, I'm helping you pick them up." And he was like, "Okay, fair enough." So I helped an Amazon man.
Did he go, "Oh, you scamp, you can have one of these"?
Here's one for you, and it was actually Santa Claus. Right, okay. The other one, and I've written this down because it was there was a number of steps in the story. This is on a different day on the way back home from work. So I'm standing up to get off the train because my station is next. And I'm walking down the aisle, and there's someone who kind of stood ahead of me, waiting to get to the bit with the door, and fair enough. But he's looking down at someone kind of like off to his left. And I was like, and he just keeps looking at him like that. I was like, that's a bit strange. So the guy eventually...
They're like giving him side eye.
A little bit side eye, but with a lot more neck cricking as well.
Right.
So he takes a step forward and gets into the door. So now I'm stood next to the guy that was being looked at, and I look down, and this guy who is sat down in his seat, like kind of whips his head up like this and looks at me like that. And
this is all very visual.
Oh, yes, it is. So he takes out his earphones, and he goes, "What station is coming up?" And I went, "Western." He goes, "Western Supermare. Western Supermare, fucking hell!" And he gets up and goes, "It's my stop." It's like, oh, all right. And so he gets up, and I noticed there's about 4 or 5 of those miniature bottles of wine on his table.
Suddenly, this makes more sense.
It makes a lot more sense. And there was like a wall of cologne that I noticed when he stood up. But he stands up, and he looks at me and goes, "Oh, my bag's up on the shelf, but I've fucked my shoulder. Can you grab it for me?" Like, yeah, sure. My thinking all the while, how did you get it up there?
Yeah.
Either way, grabbed it down for him, and he goes, "Oh, that's great. Thanks, man." And he turns to me and he goes, "Ah, Western. I haven't been here in 10 years. It's a good venue, isn't it?" And I was like, "No, not if you live here, it is." And he goes, "Yeah. That's great. That's great." And he turns away and he looks back and he points at my necklace, and I'm wearing on my necklace I have a 5 yen piece for luck.
Yeah.
And he points at that and goes, "What's that?" I went, "Oh, it's a 5 yen piece for luck." And he goes, "I don't believe in the yen." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Don't believe in the yen.
I don't believe in the yen. I was
like
"Oh."
It's a fairy.
Yeah, it was like, no, it's a foreign currency. Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, okay." Just trying to keep the conversation minimal. And he gets off the train, and I'm getting the ticket off my phone. He got out ahead of me because I stopped to get the ticket off my phone.
Mm-hmm.
Only to see him at the ticket barrier arguing with the guard because he didn't have a ticket. I was like, all right, fine. And then I didn't see him again. Weird dude.
Oh, damn, that's crazy.
That was crazy, Tim. I enjoyed that story a lot.
There's a lot of strange people in Western.
Don't half meet them, do you?
Well, there's something in the water in Western, I'm convinced. And I find that if you just kind of turn off your headphones for a bit and just start people watching, you'll see some interesting things.
I don't take public transport anymore, and I feel like my enjoyment of people has diminished to the point where if I take it again, I'll just hate everyone.
I mean, that's not to say I don't hate everyone. I saw 2 people on the bus the other day having a fight over a buggy spot. One of the people had a baby in the buggy. The other one had shopping.
Wow. Have I ever told you about my train nemesis?
A train nemesis?
Yeah, there was a guy where we used to live. I used to get the train from, it was about 6 stops into Birmingham city centre.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy used to get on the train at the same time and get off the train at the same time as me. And he used to have a massive bag that he would attach a wash bag to because he would obviously go to the office early. I start really early, finish early as well.
Sure.
But because his bag was so big, this wash bag would swing about and it would hit people. And he's one of these people that pushes people out of the way to get to the doors first so that he can get a seat. And there was many a time where I was stood by the platform and he'd come and stand right in front of me. And I thought, oh, one little push in front of this train.
And he won't do it again.
He did that. He once, I once saw him physically push someone over to get to the front of the queue of the train.
Okay. I mean, I thought this was going to be a lot more lighthearted, like you just see them and you kind of make eye contact. And that's about it.
No. He was actually my train nemesis. Everyone I work with knows about my train nemesis, despite me not catching that train to work for 3 years because of COVID and moving house. So I hate that man. Tim, I realised I made you, or didn't make you, I got you something to celebrate today being Wednesday, and I thought you'd enjoy it. It's 30 seconds long.
Okay.
Strap in, you'll enjoy it.
That's not fair. Silly noises are my weakness.
Shall I play it again?
Please don't.
Are you sure?
I mean, maybe not right now. Let's hit it.
No, I won't do it again.
All right, good. Thank you. There was one bit of gaming news that I thought was particularly interesting this week and wanted to bring up with you to see if you'd seen.
Okay.
How familiar are you with the Lord of the Rings Gollum game that came out?
I know that it was very poor.
It was so poor that the development team issued an apology and closed down, right?
That is poor.
That is very poor. Someone has done some digging on the company and worked out the apology was made in ChatGPT.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
Oh, God, that's so funny.
That's dire. Like, if you're going to put something out to the public, at least make it write it yourself. Are you looking into it now?
Yeah. I want to find the actual apology.
I'm sure you can.
It's so poor. Like, every time I look at the picture of Gollum from the game, it doesn't look like Gollum. It just looks like he's seen things.
I've just gone on Steam and looked up the game. Not only is the game $42.99 on Steam.
Oh my God.
There is a premium edition, or the Precious edition, for $51.99 plus 20 quid of extra content, like an emotes pack.
Okay, so I've got the apology here. Do you want me to read it?
Please do, and please keep in mind, audience, this is from ChatGPT, not the developers, so they clearly weren't sorry.
Dear players, we would like to sincerely apologise for the underwhelming experience many of you had with the Lord of the Ring Gollum. Lord of the Ring? Have they misspelt the name of the game in the apology?
Well, the game is Lord of the Rings Gollum.
Yeah, so they've misspelt it. Upon its release, we acknowledge and deeply regret that the game did not meet the expectations set for ourselves and our dedicated community. Please accept our sincere apologies for any disappointment this may have caused. Our goal as a studio and passionate Lord of the Rings, so they do know what it's called, fans, has always been to tell a compelling and immersive story-driven adventure. Crafting a story where Middle-earth as our playground has been our greatest honour and the biggest challenge we have faced so far. At Daedalic, which is the name of the studio, we understand that the game's success relies on the enjoyment and satisfaction of its players. We genuinely value your feedback and have been actively listening to your voices, reading your comments, and analysing the constructive criticism and suggestions you have provided.
I'm looking on Steam at the reviews, and there's one that just says, "We hate Sid."
Our development team has been working diligently to address the bugs and technical issues many of you have experienced. We are committed to providing you with patches that will allow you to enjoy the game to its fullest potential. Once again, we deeply apologise for any inconvenience caused. We appreciate your understanding during this time. We will continue to keep you updated on our progress and provide transparent communication regarding upcoming patches and improvements. Your passion and dedication as players have been the driving force between our determination to make things right. Thank you for your support. Sincerely, Daedalic. And then they closed down.
Brilliant. There's also another hit review here that 151 people found helpful that just says no. And the developer responded.
What did they say?
Hello, thank you for sharing your thoughts, and we're sorry you didn't like the game. A patch will come out soon to improve the experience. If you want to read up on more information, follow this link. All the best, Lord of the Rings Gollum team.
Well, that sounds like a pretty good advert for how not to be a good game studio.
Yeah, I mean, we have a big policy at work about like, hey, absolutely use ChatGPT if you're struggling to think of the wording for something, but don't send out emails or put anything out.
Do they
But,
really
like-
encourage you to use ChatGPT?
But if you're struggling to think of wording, or if you need an alternative way of phrasing something, then sure.
Oh, really? Well, that's interesting.
Well, as long as we're not putting any sort of personal data in there, because obviously it's a machine learning system. If we're struggling to be like, hey, rephrase this, for example.
So me putting your phone number in there repeatedly with your name is not helpful.
Probably not. Although I imagine there's some sort of like. Although, have you seen how much apparently the server costs for ChatGPT are?
No.
If you had to take an honest shot based on the amount of requests per day,
millions of dollars.
It is $700,000 a day.
Who pays for that?
I guess the creators of ChatGPT or whoever owns it.
I really enjoyed seeing a job advert where someone needed fast API experience and 4 years of it, and the creator of Fast API tried to apply for the job, and they said he didn't have enough experience because he only had a year and a half. That was when it was created.
Sake.
It was very funny.
Very
Tim,
fun.
I proposed a new section for you for the
You
podcast. I have to admit, I saw it on a YouTube video and thought it was funny. We have a shared love of terrible jokes.
Mm-hmm.
So, my idea is that we tell each other a joke one at a time, and the first one of us laughs, the section ends.
All right. I've
Okay.
got about 5 or 6 jokes ready in the chamber.
Great. Well, I have a jingle in the chamber.
What? That's pretty funny, to be fair. That joke was weak. I misread that as that's the joke of the week.
There you go.
That I've never heard a jingle before that I thought has been held together with duct tape.
Are you saying that wasn't up to my professional
No, I love
standards?
it. I absolutely love it.
I'm playing
but-
it again, Tim.
Oh, what?
I just love the trumpets.
That's pretty funny, to be fair. That joke was weak. I misread that as that's the joke of the week. Should just ask me to do the trumpet.
Oh yeah, I forgot you play the trumpet. Tim, I came up with the jingle, so you can do the first joke.
All right, cool. What is unhealthy, bad for your teeth, has billions of calories, and isn't good to have sex with?
Don't know.
Uranium. All right.
Tim, I want to. Don't know how PC this one is. I want to die peacefully in my sleep like my grandfather, not screaming and yelling like the passengers in his car.
Not bad. Not bad, that one. What's red and bad for your teeth? Stop sign.
There's a lot of these that are bad for your teeth.
There is, yeah.
Me and my friend made a band.
Hmm.
Got 999 meg. Haven't had a gig yet.
Was very close.
Does that count?
It does not.
Okay.
It's not. What's blue and bad for your teeth?
Say, what is blue and bad for your teeth?
Red stop sign painted blue.
Tim, when life gives you melons, you might be dyslexic.
Pretty accurate.
Hmm.
Pretty accurate. What do you call a broken sex toy?
Stop sign, I don't know.
A dildo. No? Okay.
That one's good. That one's good.
Okay.
Don't you hate it when someone answers their own questions? I do.
Very close.
That was a laugh. Come on.
All right, fine. Yeah, you can have that one. But I do want to get one more joke out.
Okay, go on.
What do you call a lesbian that doesn't eat meat? A vegetarian.
That's me calling an end to the segment.
That's pretty funny, to be fair. That joke was weak. I misread that as that's the joke of the week. I'm looking at the waveform and you could see the volume difference in the first trumpet.
So what was the joke of the week, Tim?
Joke of the week, I forget.
Was it don't you hate it when someone answers their own questions? I do.
Yeah.
I
like it.
The jingles are coming thick and fast. What do you think?
I like that one. I mean, like, it's very janky, but I kind of dig it for this because we both have a very dumb sense of humor sometimes.
So, the Northern Boy and I have this new fascination with this software that basically makes loops and jingles. It's what I've used for all of our jingles. It's what I used to make the intro track.
Mm-hmm.
But every now and then, the Northern Boy will say to me, "Can I have this piece of audio? Can I have this piece of audio from this episode?" And I'll go, "Yeah, what for?" And he goes, "Oh, just for a jingle." And I'll go,
All right.
"Oh, okay, yeah, no problem." And do you want to hear the latest one that he's asked for?
Go on.
Just give me one sec.
All right. I will accept audience cummies. That's all he wanted.
Yep.
All right, great.
Yeah. So there's going to be a jingle of you saying, "Oh, I will accept audience cummies."
A new prize has dropped.
Wow.
The only other thing I've got written in my notes, because I don't know when this thing will be going live, but I'm recording episode 1 of The Secret Project tonight.
Ooh, exciting. Are you going to give any kind of inclination as to what it is?
It involves industry professionals.
Something we are not.
No, not with audience cummies in the question.
Do you want the soundboard so you can ask him for audience cummies?
I'm not going to ask him for audience cummies. That might be a little
Ooh,
bit.
have I just dropped another hint?
Oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah, cummies is a big hint.
Is it?
Yeah.
God,
Joey,
what kind of a call are you having later?
what are we having? What I was going to ask was, do you have anything you're looking to bring to this week's episode? Outside the stuff we talked about?
Do you know, Tim, 2 days ago, I slept for 20 hours in a single day because I was so ill. That has been my life for 3 days now. I have not felt good.
What's the longest you've ever slept?
20 hours.
20 hours. What's the longest you've been awake?
Oh, probably 30-something hours.
I think I've done 2 days.
I've never managed to do 2 full days, but when I was at uni, I used to work club nights. So we'd work the club night, and then sometimes they'd finish at 6 in the morning, and then I would do a full day of uni the next day, and then go back to work that evening. So it would probably be upwards of 30 to 36 hours.
Thinking about it, I have definitely done 48 hours before because I've done a couple of those 48-hour film challenges.
I did one of them, but I had a big sleep in the middle.
Oh, right, okay.
We did a 48-hour film challenge, but it was had to be shot on Super 8 film.
Yes, I remember this.
It was very cool, but I don't know where I can find the footage. I'm certainly not going to share it wider than with you because it involved a fight scene with some of my friends from uni where we dressed a pillow up in one of my friend's clothes and threw him off the 5th story of a car park in Leeds that was right next to the busiest street in the city. We could have got in a lot of shit.
Probably could have gotten in a lot of trouble for that, yeah. I mean, there's definitely projects that I've done that I'm not sharing with people.
Is this about the work that you did in Austin?
Not in Austin.
No?
Nothing in Austin.
Not the softcore.
No,
porn
that was
stuff?
in Chichester.
No.
Yeah, but that's never leaving the depths of a hard drive that I have kicking around somewhere.
Is it not on the internet or anything?
Not to my knowledge.
Sorry, it sounds like you've done softcore porn for your own amusement.
Oh,
here.
no. I was a boom op and audio engineer on a softcore comedy porn. And that was my first paid gig.
Wasn't it really horrible to do?
It was awful to do. It was very, very unprofessional. Like, I got roped into it almost as like a bit of a pseudo favor because someone I knew was like, "Hey, a director I know is looking for an audio for a boom op this weekend. Are you free?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm free. I'm free." So we ended up shooting this softcore comedy porn in this director's bedroom. The director wasn't in front of the camera; it was just two people that obviously we'd never met. And the editing suites at our university's library could also be used by the public on kind of a public hire basis.
Oh no!
And so I would be editing the projects that I was working on for university, and I'd be constantly getting badgered by this director, being like, "Hey, can you do this for me? Can you do this for me?" I was like, "No, I've done my bit. Go away."
I'm sat in public.
Yeah, I'm not editing porn in the library. Thank you.
No, not again. I got in trouble last time.
I'm not taking another 6-week ban. I need this for my studies.
I'll find that video of our short film and send it to you.
If I can, a weird part of me wants to find where this file, because it's definitely on one of the hard drives either plugged into my computer right now or one of the ones in that cupboard behind me. But a part of me kind of wants to find it. It's never going out anywhere, but I just want to see if it's as bad as I remember.
What, the softcore porn?
Yeah.
Just can't believe that you were a boom up on a comedy softcore.
It was my first paid gig. I wanted money.
Was it tasteful?
No. Not in the slightest.
What was the premise?
I think it was just like a guy meeting up with a girl for like a hookup, and it basically just like, is third base sex, or is that like?
So I think there's different definitions. Fourth, like it's a home run, so that's sex.
Sure.
Third, so to me, it would be
first is
kissing, hands, mouth, sex.
All right. Where does dry humping fall into that kind of spectrum?
Between 1 and 2.
Getting caught out at first.
Yeah.
It was basically just
that's trying to steal second.
Trying to steal second base. Yeah, so it was basically trying to steal second base, but I believe the movie opened with the girl's tit getting flicked.
You know those lines that you never think you're going to say out loud. That was one I didn't expect to hear from you, if I'm totally honest, Tim.
I mean, the image is burned a little bit into my brain, but no one else shall see it.
If you do find it, would you share it with me? For the funnies. How long is it?
Maybe like 15 minutes.
Gosh,
maybe if we like meet some sort of goal on the podcast.
No, because then you would have to share it with everyone.
Well, no. Like I would put it out there, and if it leaks, it leaks. But no, I mean, I'm assuming the actors are comfortable with it being shown because considering they filmed in it. But
well, yeah, you'd hope so. But Tim, you sent me a video that I really, really enjoyed. And I had seen before. It was on TikTok, and it was two fully grown men who were Stoke fans.
Right, yeah.
At a game at Cardiff City Football Club, and it's only like a 6-second video, and these two fully grown men are incensed. They are seething and going mad and shouting and swearing. You
like
expect
smoke coming from the ears, like head exploding like a Warner Brothers cartoon.
You expect to see them picking a fight with some other fully grown men, like, whoa, you fucking football fan hooligans. But the camera swings around, and there's this boy who's about 7 years old, and he's not even doing that much. He's just holding his fingers up for what the score is. I think it was 1-0.
1-0. He was just, he had his index finger up on one hand and all his fingers closed on the other hand, just doing that to them.
Yeah. And these guys are just going insane.
So I don't know if you saw at the end of the video, the police came down.
That is so funny.
Can you imagine?
Really funny. Oh, I really enjoyed it.
I still want to go to a football game at some point.
Yeah. We'll get you to a football game.
The only time I've been to any sort of football game was working in Pennsylvania on a summer
Doesn't
camp.
count.
No,
Doesn't
no,
count.
it's a football story though, I guess.
Okay. Was it MLS or was it American football?
What's MLS? Major League
Major
Soccer?
League Soccer.
Oh, none. It was basically just like some of the campers on like it was the American staff versus the international staff, right?
That doesn't count as going to a football game.
There was a game of football on, and I went. So we're sat down on this grass watching this game go on, and all the Americans got their own chants and what have you, and obviously all the campers that are there are American, and so any time that like a foreign or international member of staff like scored, took the ball, did a tackle or whatever, the kids would just chant deportation. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Do you know, normally, and I'm sorry to our American listeners, of which I think there is Slade and Josh, forget about it. If you listen to the usual chants that are in MLS, which is Major League Soccer, like the league in America, the chants are so poor.
They're weak. I don't know if you've seen
chants are so weak, and I've got some funny examples of chants which I think the British do to a T.
Have you seen that video? It's like American chants versus English chants, and the American one's like, "Yeah, Reds, we have spirit," and all that kind of thing. And the English one's like, "You're a fucking wanker."
Yeah. So here's a couple for you. These are ones from older players, some newer players. You know.
Hi.
He's big. He's red. His feet stick out the bed. It's Peter Crouch.
He's very tall.
Because he's very tall.
I did see a video of what do they call those guys that look after the field?
Groundsman.
It was some groundsman carrying off like a big long tarpaulin that covers the pitch, and it just said "R.I.P. Peter Crouch."
It's very funny. There's when you're sat in row Z and the ball hits your head. That's Zamora. About Bobby Zamora.
Yeah.
Then Chelsea, wherever you may be, keep your wife from John Terry, because he famously had sex with his teammate's wife.
Brilliant.
Stand up if you pay your tax, which was aimed at Harry Redknapp after he was investigated for tax fraud.
I've said this before, like, say what you want about football hooligans, their chants are very creative.
Yeah. There's your teeth are offside, your teeth are offside. Luis Suarez, your teeth are offside.
I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast, but my favourite one was it Rio Ferdinand who was being investigated.
That's the next one on my line. His name is Rio, and he watches from the stands when he was being investigated for drug use.
And he had to like sit out like 8 games or something because he refused to do a drug test.
Yeah, it's very funny.
That's great.
My favourite one is, did you ever hear about the Wagatha Christie?
No.
Wagatha Christie was, Wayne Rooney?
Yeah.
His wife, Colleen Rooney, had loads of stuff leaked to the Sun newspaper.
No, we've seen loads of stuff. What are we talking?
Oh, just personal details. And loads of England players got personal stuff leaked to the Sun newspaper, and they were running all these things, and people were like, I don't know where this leak's come from. And it turns out that it was after... It was this grand reveal, and I'll get into the grand reveal in a second, but it turned out it was Rebecca Vardy, who was an England striker, Jamie Vardy's wife. And Colleen Rooney set loads of private Instagram stories with personal stuff, but only made one person in each of the groups, so that when that one thing got released in the Sun, she would know who it was.
I've seen like game developers do that exact kind of thing. I think it's called Canary.
Is it?
But
she did it, and she did this massive reveal for public on her Instagram, and it was like, and the person leaking the details was, and then you'd have to cut like 3 or 4 things for her story, and it was Rebecca Vardy, and then it went to court, and there was a big thing about sharing all of this personal stuff with newspapers and making a profit off it, and in a very genius move by can't remember which newspaper, they dubbed it the Wagatha Christie case. But after that, everywhere he goes, Jamie Vardy gets the chant, your wife is a grass, your wife is a grass. Jamie Vardy, your wife is a grass.
That's amazing.
It's very good.
So I've heard of developers doing a similar thing. Like there's a very famous one. I say very famous, very relevant one. Some Tekken 8 information got linked,
Right.
got leaked rather. And I guess the way that Harada, the director of Tekken, does things is he sources different offices to do different things, but doesn't tell what the other offices, what everyone else is doing.
Right. Okay.
So he could almost like narrow it down to the office, and if the office are able to compartmentalize what, like who was doing what on any given day, they're
Yeah.
able to like see where it came from. And then he managed to pin down the leak of 3 characters in Tekken 8 to one department in one office in Indonesia.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but Harada's a bit of a ridiculous man. Very, very interesting dude. He owns a bar in Japan and interviews other game developers. YouTube, which is a very interesting concept called Harada's Bar.
Harada's Bardas.
Barada. And what else? He's famous catchphrase is "sit down and don't ask me for shit." So he'll walk out on stage and like people are like, "Woo, yeah, Harada!" And he'll be like, "Sit down and shut the hell up," like but in like a very Japanese to English translation. He always wears a shirt that says "Don't ask me for shit" because people ask him for stuff in his game.
I like it.
I respect it.
I like it. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Tim, anything else you want to go through?
Not really at this time, to be honest. I mean, as I say, I'm away next week. I'm sure I'll have plenty to report on because A, secret project, and B, I'm doing a road trip from Newcastle down to I think we're going to Grantham. Then we're down in the Midlands because my girlfriend's family want to see Stratford. Then we're doing Devon and Torquay, and then we're back up to Bristol.
So you're in a caravan with the girlfriend's family for
about a week.
A week.
It'll
Wow.
be fun.
That sounds really good.
It'll be absolutely fine.
No, it sounds really fun.
Yeah.
When are you expecting the secret project to go live, or do you want to tell us more about it next week so it can go live after that? Because if you're going tomorrow, I don't imagine you'll have time to edit it and put it all out.
Oh, no, our flight's at like 4 o'clock tomorrow. I'm going to have time to edit it. The only thing I'm going to be missing is a jingle.
Well. Who's your man for that?
It's Alex with his cummies.
Can you say his name properly, please?
Sorry, the northern boy with his cummies jingle.
Very good. Okay, Tim, anything you want to plug?
At Wembembo on everything. Obviously, the Fanatic, we now have 6 watches to go of
Nice.
Catwoman, which is great. What else? Watch the Space on Game Club pod, because the thing I'm working on is either going to be out either by the time you listen to this or 2 days after.
Nice. That was very fun.
Yeah.
Cool. I would like to plug Just Football and Casting Views because
Lovely Dan.
Dan is wonderful, and Dan Dave are a great trio to host a podcast. Check them both out, both weekly releases. Really great content. Tim, we have your pub quiz question, and then we'll get out of here.
Yes, I completely forgot about the question, but I still have it. What is the largest species of penguin in the world, known for its distinctive yellow eyebrows and loud braying call? The answer to the question is the emperor penguin.
I said the king. I should have known better. Tim, anything you want to say to the audience?
Take that, you bastard.
Take that, you bastard. We'll see you in a week.
In a week. Bye.
Ooh, another white boy with a podcast.
La 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 la.